Modern Warfare 4 has just been revealed, and I've got all the gameplay details and information that you need to know about the single player, the multiplayer, and a little bit about DMZ as well. So we're going to get on with this video. I've got loads to talk about. Let's get stuck into it. We'll cover off some of the back-of-the-box points first of all, some high-level stuff, and then we'll dive deeper into the campaign, the multiplayer, and some limited information about DMZ that I can give you today. So Modern Warfare 4, developed by Infinity Ward. It's a new chapter for the studio, but it's still grounded, it's still authentic, it's the high-stakes military action that Modern Warfare is known for. Players can expect the edge and intensity that defines Modern Warfare, delivered with a renewed focus on authenticity and immersion across campaign, multiplayer, and DMZ. Now, as I'm sure you've noticed already, there is a lot of Korean influence into this game, but it is a global conflict. It's escalating from the Korean Peninsula. Modern Warfare 4 is going to push the series into darker and more dangerous territory as a full-scale invasion of South Korea threatens to destabilize the world. So things are getting really hot on the Korean Peninsula, but from the behind closed doors presentation that I got to see, there will be some familiar faces there too. We're going back to New York, Paris is in there, but there will be some new locations. So like Mumbai was focused on a little bit. Just areas that Modern Warfare hasn't gone before. The team has tried to go global with the conflict, but it is focused around South Korea and North Korea starting a war with each other, basically. The devs on the call mentioned a few pillars that they've used as guiding lights during development. The first one, gameplay is king. They're saying that they've prioritized the feel and mechanics of gameplay over everything else in the game to make sure every moment is engaging and fun. Second of all, they kept mentioning this phrase, ripped from the headlines. They're sort of using it as a philosophy where they're creating a world and a universe that feels very current, very plausible, very relevant right now, where if you looked at the headlines, you could almost say that that is something that might happen in the world that we live in. Third, they're committed to authentic and gritty characters who feel like real people rather than superhero caricatures, and that's really important because we'll talk about that in a minute. And finally, they're always pushing state-of-the-art visuals and polishing, which is something that Infinity Ward has been known for a long time. I mentioned the characters. This is the important part. The campaign's narrative is going to be told through two main perspectives. The first one is the grunt perspective, and it's this blended South Korean and US squad that met at the start of the conflict that's going to be depicted in Modern Warfare 4. And then there's the personal arc of Captain Price, who, as you might remember at the end of Modern Warfare 3, did something that maybe turned him into a fugitive. And that's exactly what we've got here in Modern Warfare 4. Price is on the run, and he's operating outside his usual command structure. The missions in the campaign are set across a load of different locations across the globe, lots of different combat scenarios as well. We've got trench warfare in Korea, close quarters battles in New York, high-speed pursuits through Paris, and there's an SAS night raid in Mumbai. So lots for you to look forward to in the campaign. Let's talk about the multiplayer experience next. The devs have shot for some core elements here, wanting to make sure the experience felt slick and smooth, but still grounded and current and up-to-date with military technology. Now, from the footage that I got to see on the call, and no doubt what you've seen from the trailer and the reveal, the combat does feel like it's got 2026 written all over it. Lots of new tech that's emerged over the last few years in real conflicts, but an overall setting that feels grounded. The team has then added a layer of cinematic sheen on top of it, filling the levels with different elements that react to what's going on around you. So items on shelves will just go flying when an explosion goes off or if you shoot at them. Water will spray from destroyed fire hydrants, but if you haven't destroyed it, it won't do that. And the team is implementing a new mechanic where if an explosion doesn't kill you, but it does damage and you're close to the source of that explosion, it will blow you off your feet and send you flying. But you'll still be alive when you hit the ground. Pretty much all of the weapon and player movement animations that I saw in the footage were very slick and very fluid, taking the game beyond the detail that we saw in Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. Infinity Ward has really stepped it up, and they've gone in and tried to refine everything to make it feel as smooth as possible. For example, the team has adapted the ledge grabbing mechanic to be much faster now, so if you don't want to just be hanging there, you don't have to. You can grab onto the ledge and pull up really quickly, and then have your gun ready again in an instant. There is also another ledge grab animation that allows you to granularly peek and reveal yourself and even sway along the ledge left and right to change your aiming angle. They've tried to build a movement system for players who are comfortable moving around all the time, all over the place and sliding, and something for the more tactical player, with those ledge grab mechanics being the example here. The team is saying that this is the most unrestricted and fluid movement system that they've ever shipped as a studio. So I'm looking forward to your reactions in the comments on that statement. When it comes to gunplay, the team has worked on really pushing something that they're calling the Ballistic Authority system. They've improved weapon framing on the screen, handling and accuracy to make the gunplay as authentic as they can. Bullet trajectory, weapon motion, the stance of your character, the camera, the audio, the FOV you use, and target visibility has all kind of been thought about collectively and aligned in a way that puts it first above everything else. So to give you an example of what that means, Modern Warfare 4 still has muzzle smoke when you fire your gun. I know that's going to annoy some people, but the team seems to have thought about that because they've defined a radius around your sight that will protect your view of targets, and that smoke will be masked out. So you'll still be able to see your target even if there's muzzle smoke going on around you. Depth of field has been worked on to align it with the way that human eyes actually work, where things focus in on what you're actually looking at and then things around what you're looking at kind of blur and sort of mishmash together. Weapon model movement has been updated to feel more natural and human-like, with it now reacting in real time to solid objects in front of it. That means so you won't just stand in front of a wall with your gun pointed right at it, an animation will actually pull that gun up towards you. And this happens automatically, and it includes the stance of your operator as well. So if you're moving towards an enemy, the gun will move into a more tactical position, and then if you move away from the enemy again, it'll go into a more accurate stance. Tac sprinting is still in Modern Warfare 4, but it now has more visual identifiers to let you know that it's running out. So rather than the gun immediately just dropping back down from the right-hand side of your screen into the normal sprint animation, it will slowly drop down as the stamina of your character reduces, and then it will decelerate down to a normal sprint speed. And then, one big element for the gunplay, no bloom in Modern Warfare 4. The game is taking all of the guesswork out of hipfire and is implementing something different. Bloom is something that you've heard me talk about loads of times recently. Games use this imaginary cone of fire in front of you to determine where bullets fire from the hip end up going, and you, the player, cannot control that mechanic. The game does it randomly. Modern Warfare 4 is changing things up, and apparently will be the first AAA shooter to ditch this old method, and instead will have hipfire shots go exactly where the weapon is pointing. Here's a quote from the developers. "We developed a realistic physical simulation of human motion that more precisely illustrates where the bullets will go, so players get more consistency with every shot. We simulate convergence to keep the weapon pointing where you're aiming, so the weapon is oriented towards the point of impact when shooting targets far away. This is the most authentic convergence in any first-person shooter. Recoil has more accurate results than ever, allowing lasers to show precisely where a bullet will go with every trigger pull. And the bullets go where the weapon points, allowing for a more realistic, immersive experience compared to previous titles." End quote. All of this is going into creating probably the most fluid combat system that we've seen in a first-person shooter. And it's kind of giving me the same sort of vibes that I first got when I saw Modern Warfare 2019. That game really stepped the level up for the franchise, and I'm getting a similar feeling here with Modern Warfare 4. Now, as for maps, multiplayer is going to ship with 12 6v6 maps at launch, set in a bunch of different locations around the world, built for different types of combat, from close quarters to more open combat zones. There will also be dedicated gunfight maps, multiple big war maps, that's the new name for the big maps, think ground war from previous titles, but with some different game modes, and that will include combined arms gameplay, so infantry and vehicles existing together. And there's even something called Kill Block, which is like this living alive map thing. It's like a dynamic battleground that's going to change every time you load it up, and there's over 500 different combinations, different routes, different sight lines, and cover to keep you on your toes. Now, the devs described it a bit like Real Madrid's football pitch, where it can be split into sections and stored under the stadium, all folded away, neatly packed up, and then brought all the way back out again, put together, and is ready to go. Very interesting concept. Didn't really get to see much gameplay of it, so we'll have to wait until the game comes out for that one. Next, we're going to talk about the Gunsmith and the Apex attachment system that's coming to Modern Warfare 4. Apex attachments are about to become your final unlocks for specific weapons in the game, and those attachments are going to redefine how the weapon works. So for example, the revolver comes with a final unlock of a custom single-action army-style hammer that lets you fan fire from the hip for rapid-fire follow-up shots. One of the bolt-action snipers has a side saddle on it that holds 3 quick-throw throwing knives that you can slash out towards your enemies. One of the 9mm pistols has an aggressive side-break 12-gauge shotgun mounted to its frame, giving you a single shotgun pellet that you can fire. And there's even an SMG that features custom-tipped ammo, which when they hit their target, feeds the position of that bullet back onto an optical display on the gun. Essentially, wallhack bullets. It all sounds very interesting, and I think some of these Apex attachments will be more controversial than others, but it's interesting to see what the devs are doing for those late-game unlocks for all your different guns. In Modern Warfare 4, each operator will have their own loadout, so you can set up every different character with different loadouts distinctly, with different weapons, different secondaries, lethals, tacticals, field upgrades, and all your different perks. There's a new gunny system in the game that's going to use AI to suggest different loadouts on weapons that will suit different playstyles based on the weapons and attachments that you've unlocked on your account. And the game will feature 2 different prestige paths. You'll have Classic and Regular. Classic delivers the traditional reset experience, which relocks your creator class progression in exchange for increased XP earn rates and access to prestige rewards. I think that's everything important for multiplayer. I may well have forgotten a couple of things, but I'll do a video in a couple of days' time rounding everything up once the reveal has happened and we know everything there is to know. And then, on to DMZ. Now, today I can't give you all of the info that I gleaned from the presentation, but Activision has said that I can reveal some of the information, and then I'll reveal the rest of it in the future. So, here's what I can confirm about DMZ in Modern Warfare 4 today. DMZ is the definitive Call of Duty extraction experience, a living combat sandbox where every deployment is a new story. Set across a large-scale conflict zone, DMZ is built both for structured missions and emergent gameplay, where players can loot, fight, negotiate, betray, and extract with whatever they can carry. Deploy solo or with a squad into a volatile living combat zone as an off-the-books asset tasked with recovering advanced military technology left in the wake of war. DMZ returns transformed from its beta, building on that foundation to deliver a deeper, more complete extraction experience shaped by player feedback and new systems. Within a living world, the conditions in the exclusion zone are always shifting, with changing weather, dynamic military objectives, and hostile forces moving throughout the zone. Now, outside of that high-level information, you will have to wait a bit longer for more DMZ info, but I promise you, I absolutely promise you, it's gonna be worth the wait. DMZ is gonna be extremely exciting this year. And lastly, I should probably tell you the release date. Modern Warfare 4 launches on October 23rd, 2026 on PC, Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and Nintendo Switch 2. So the rumors were true. No more last generation consoles. That's all from me today. Drop what you want to know more about in the comments, and I'll do a follow-up video later this week with more information. Thanks very much for watching. Catch you soon.